Hi everybody, today's focus, I am testing various ways to clean cutting boards. Today's video is a viewer request. We've talked about this on my Patreon page, and I've had viewer requests from Katrina T, Kobe Grabowski, Milio, Sun Does Shine, Chlorine Heart, Kindly One, PV Beach Bum, and others. So in order to test how to remove bacteria from cutting boards, the first thing I did was purchase some brand new cutting boards. So I have some brand new wood, these are bamboo cutting boards, there's 3 pieces in this set, and I also purchased some just plastic flexible cutting mats. Then what I'll do is I'll take some raw meat and I'll lay it on the cutting boards. Then I'll take a Petri dish just like this guy here and label them A, B, and C. I'm going to take some sterile swabs and I'll swab the cutting board after the raw meat has had a chance to sit on it. I'll place that sample in the section labeled B for before. Then I'll wash the cutting boards using various methods. I'll swab the area again and place that sample in the section labeled A for after. So we'll be able to see how much bacteria is on a cutting board before cleaning and after cleaning. I'll wash the cutting boards in different ways. I'll probably just do dish soap just right in the sink. I'll probably do what I do, which is dish soap in the sink and then spray it with Force of Nature. I'll test it with a diluted bleach solution. I'll also test the plastic ones in the dishwasher because they do say they're dishwasher safe. So let's see which method of cleaning removes most bacteria from wooden and plastic cutting boards. First, I'm going to set up an area on my island by just setting up some aluminum foil just to keep the area clean while I'm doing this test. Next, I'll unwrap the brand new wooden and plastic cutting boards. The chicken that I got was a bag of Tyson chicken leg quarters. The use or freeze by date is December 16th and today is Monday, December 16th. So what I'm going to do is place a chicken leg quarter on each cutting board. I'm going to put it on one side for 1 minute, flip it over, and have it on the other side for another minute. So total, the chicken leg quarter will be on the cutting board for 2 minutes. So I just set it down the first way and had Siri set a timer. Once the 1 minute was up, I flipped it again so it can do a 1 minute on the other side. And once 2 minutes is up, I'm going to take the before sample. For this first wooden cutting board, I'm only going to clean it with soap and water. First, I'm going to rinse off any chicken juice that's on it, and then I'm going to clean it with Palmolive dish soap using a paper towel. I'm not going to use a sponge so that there's no cross-contamination between cutting boards. I'm going to rinse the cutting board and then dry it. Once the cutting board is dry, then I'll take the sample for the section A for after. The next cutting board, I will put the chicken on it for again 2 minutes, 1 minute on one side, flip it over, 1 minute on the next side. Once the 2 minutes up, I will take the before sample. First, I'll rinse off the chicken juice with just water. Then I will wash with soap and water, again using a paper towel and Palmolive. So for this test, I'm going to be using Clorox bleach after cleaning with soap and water. So I just went to Clorox's website, and the first step is to pre-clean the cutting board, which is what we are doing. The next step is to make a bleach sanitizing solution, which they suggest mixing 1 gallon of water, which is 16 cups, into a plastic dishpan and then adding 2 teaspoons. They say use a sponge to wipe the cutting board with the bleach and water solution, reapplying as needed so that it stays wet for the 2 minutes. I chose to spray it with a spray bottle because I'm not going to submerge a wooden cutting board into a dishpan of water. After the 2 minutes, the Clorox website suggests just air drying it. It says there's no rinsing necessary when you're sanitizing food contact surfaces with this dilution, and you should just let it air dry. However, since it is a wooden cutting board, and I wanted to see if the bleach would remove all the bacteria within the 2-minute time period, I chose to pat it dry. For the next cutting board, I chose to wash it with dish soap and then spray it with Force of Nature. Again, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm putting a piece of chicken on a cutting board and I'm letting it sit on it for 1 minute on one side, flipping it over, and then 1 minute on the other side. So we've got the full 2 minutes. After the 2 minutes, I'm going to take a sample of the cutting board. I'm going to rinse off any chicken juice with just water and then clean the cutting board with soap and water, again using Palmolive and a paper towel. After rinsing, I pat it dry and spray it with the Force of Nature solution. I made this solution fresh this morning, and I'm going to have it use a wait time of 10 minutes. The Force of Nature website says you can use, I believe it's 1 minute for sanitizing, 10 for disinfection. When I clean my cutting boards like this, I always stick with the 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes are up, I dry the cutting board and sample again. Now let's switch to the plastic cutting boards. The first one I'm going to do is just dish soap. I'm going to follow the same protocol. I'm going to place the chicken on the plastic cutting board for a total of 2 minutes, 1 minute on each side. After the 2 minutes is up, I'm going to swab, and that will be my before sample. I'm going to rinse the chicken juice off with just water and then wash it with dish soap and again a paper towel and Palmolive. In order to get some good scrubbing power in, I did place the plastic mats on the bottom of the sink. The wooden cutting boards are stiff enough so that I could just hold them up so you could watch me wash them. But for the plastic mats, I did need to lay them down and give them a good scrubbing. After rinsing, I'll pat it dry and swab it again for my sample after. Next is the plastic cutting board and washing it with dish soap and then the bleach solution. I'll take the chicken, place it on the mat for a total of 2 minutes, 1 minute on each side. After the 2 minutes is up, I'll swab the cutting board, and that will go for my before sample. And I wanted to show you a close-up of how much chicken juice is actually getting on these cutting boards. It's quite a bit. Rinse the plastic cutting board with water to remove the chicken juice. Wash it with soap and water. After rinsing, I pat it dry and apply the bleach solution, let it sit for 2 minutes. After the 2 minutes is up, I dry the bleach solution off of the cutting board and sample for after. Next will be the plastic cutting board using dish soap and then Force of Nature. The chicken is laid out on the plastic cutting board for 2 minutes at a time, 1 minute, and then flipping it another minute. After the 2 minutes is up, I'll swab the area, and that will be my before sample. I'll rinse the cutting board with water to remove the chicken juice. I wash the cutting board with soap and water. After rinsing the cutting board, I pat it dry, and then I spray Force of Nature on the cutting board and let it sit for 10 minutes. Once the 10 minutes is up, I dry the cutting board and swab the area for my after sample. The last test I'll do is the plastic cutting board using my dishwasher to clean it. I start this one the same by placing the chicken on the plastic mat for 2 minutes, 1 minute on each side. After the 2 minutes is up, I swab the area, and that becomes my before sample. For this one, since I'm putting it in my dishwasher, I'm only going to rinse it with water just to remove the residual chicken juice off of the plastic mat. I place it in my dishwasher and I add a Cascade Complete dishwashing pod. I set my dishwasher on a normal cycle with a Sani rinse, heated dry. After the dishwasher has completed its cycle, I take the mat out and take the final sample, which is after being cleaned in the dishwasher. Now for some results. Let's start by looking at the wooden cutting board that was washed with just dish soap. In the before section, we can see a lot of bacteria. And when I zoom in, I can see different types of bacteria as well. And in the after section, I don't see any bacterial growth at all. So it looks like washing with just dish soap did a great job of removing the bacteria from my wooden cutting board. The wooden cutting board, after it was washed with soap and water and then bleached for 2 minutes. In the before section, we can see a lot of bacteria. And in the after section, again, we're not seeing any bacterial growth at all. So washing with dish soap and then following up with a 2-minute bleach did a great job of removing the bacteria from my wooden cutting board. Washing with dish soap and following it up with Force of Nature for 10 minutes. In the before section, we can see a lot of bacteria, and in the after section, there's no bacterial growth at all. So washing with dish soap and following it up with Force of Nature did a great job of removing the bacteria from my wooden cutting board. The plastic cutting board using just dish soap. In the before section, we can see a lot of bacteria, and in the after section, again, we're seeing no bacterial growth at all. So the dish soap did a great job of removing the bacteria from my plastic cutting board. The plastic cutting board washed with dish soap and then a 2-minute bleach soak. In the before section, we can see a lot of bacteria, and in the after section, there's no bacterial growth. So washing with dish soap and then a 2-minute soak with bleach did a great job of removing the bacteria from my plastic cutting board. The plastic cutting board washed with dish soap and then a 10-minute Force of Nature soak. In the before section, we can see a lot of bacteria, and in the after section, there's no bacterial growth at all. So washing with dish soap and following up with Force of Nature did a great job of removing the bacteria from my plastic cutting board. Plastic cutting board being washed in the dishwasher. In the before section, we can see a lot of bacteria, and in the after section, there's no bacterial growth at all. So washing in the dishwasher did a great job removing the bacteria from the plastic cutting board. So overall, we're seeing that washing with soap and water and a bleach spray, soap and water and a Force of Nature spray does a fantastic job of removing the bacteria from these new wooden and plastic cutting boards. Now, there are a few limitations to this test, as always. One, the type of meat that I chose. I just chose chicken leg quarters with skin on them. There are so many different types of meat that you can use. I'm sure that has varying amounts of bacteria on them, but this is what I chose for this test. Also, these cutting boards are brand new. They don't have any cuts in them. They don't have any nicks in them. So that is also a slight limitation to this test. Would it be any different if there were more slices and nicks and cuts in the plastic cutting boards and in the wooden cutting boards? I'm not sure. So what I'll probably do is use these cutting boards for a while and then do a follow-up video in maybe about 6 months or so. But I'm happy to see that the current recommendations of washing a cutting board, wooden or plastic, in hot soapy water did a good job of removing the bacteria from my cutting boards. From my home, what I'm going to continue doing is washing my cutting boards in my sink with hot soapy water, and then I like to follow up with Force of Nature. I've been doing that for a long time, and I'm going to continue doing that. So if you have a suggestion for a different way that I should be cleaning these wooden and plastic cutting boards, put it in the comments section, because I will be doing a follow-up video probably about 6 months or so. And I'd like to incorporate some of my viewers' ideas. As always, if there is a product that you would like me to test, do me a favor and put it in the comments section and I will add it to my viewer suggestion list. Or you can mail me something. My mailbox address is in the description below. Just do me a favor and send me an email first. That's also in the description below, so we can have a conversation about the product that you want tested. It might be something that I've already tested. It might be something that I have in queue at home that I haven't quite made a video for yet. So send me an email first so we can have that conversation. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. Have yourselves a great day.